in with where you are right now. So like I said, we're gonna focus on this idea of feeling centered, feeling connected, feeling grounded this morning in our practice. And we're gonna start that by connecting to our belly breath. So this real deep breath through the belly. So as you breathe in, you can feel that expansion in your hand in the lower abdominal area. And then as you exhale, you can really feel everything contracting, releasing, and those muscles just gently begin to engage a little bit. So just breathe into the belly here, maybe counting in up to 3 as you inhale, and as you exhale, counting back down from 3. So just this little equal count of breath. In for 3 and out for 3. Really squeezing the air out of the belly. And you notice that little engagement of the muscles there. And then naturally you fill the space back up. Maybe just 2 more rounds of this, in for 3, out for 3. And when you've completed the second round, just come back to your normal breathing. Let the belly breath go, and just notice your breath here. And then just take a few moments to feel the body against the ground. Notice the space around you. Maybe just move the fingers and toes a little bit, just waking the body back up. And we're going to stay on our backs this morning, and we're just going to engage the core slightly, just connecting to that central part of the body. So on our backs, you might just want to draw the knees into the chest to give yourself a little squeeze and a hug. Just maybe rock on the sides of the back, maybe up and down the spine, just opening everything up. And then take the knees kind of parallel and the feet just kind of, so you, rather than straight legs up, you just kind of almost a reverse tabletop on your back, and then just bring the hands just to the side of the head. So maybe creating like a little hammock for the back of your skull, so you can rest your hands down, and try and pin your elbows to the ground. Try and draw your belly button to the spine so you create that flat back against the mat. So there's no space there. You're really engaging through the core here, and you're feeling that belly connect, that core connect. And we're going to do some toe taps. So as we inhale, we're just going to drop our left toe down, keeping the knee bent, and then as we exhale, lift it back up. And exhale, drop the right toe down, lift it back up. Inhale to drop, exhale to lift. Inhale to drop the toes. We're just calling them toe taps, keeping the knee bent. You're just almost really feeling that movement through the belly. So alternating the toes. Try not to rush the movement, but feel the muscles working. Left toe down and up, right toe down and up. We're going to do one more on each side. So left toe down and up, right toe down and up. And then draw the knees into the chest. Just take the knees wide, open the hips a little bit, allow the belly to relax. Just notice how your breath is. Does it feel a bit, did you continue to breathe or did you stop? Just notice what you were doing. And then draw the knees back in together. We're just going to do some upper abdominal raises. So taking the toes up to the ceiling. So we're not straight legs just there's like a little bend, but we're just lifting them up as if we're gonna do a little stretch by taking hold of the toes with the hands. And we're just gonna lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling. So imagine we were holding a small like Pilates ball in our hand, an imaginary ball. And we're just gonna inhale, lift up as if we're taking the ball to the toes. And then exhale, release it back down. So inhale and exhale. You might find that you exhale on the lift and you inhale as you lower, just as long as you're breathing, drawing the belly in, again taking it slow. Point the toes and imagine you're lifting the ball up towards the toes. So it's a very small lift, using the upper abdominals. Try not to lead with the neck. Try and keep the neck loose and easy. We're going to do 3 more wherever we are. So 1, release, 2, release, and 3. Hold here, 3. Keep the shoulders and the upper back off. Hold, squeeze, and then exhale, release the knees, hug them into the chest. Just rock side to side. And then take hold of the back of the legs. We're just going to rock and roll up the spine. Just kind of massaging until eventually we come up into our boat hold just for 5 seconds here, just holding in our boat. Everything. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place their feet down on the ground, hands behind us, and then just lift up. Give yourself a little reverse stretch here, opening through the hips. And then exhale, bring it down, coming into a nice seated position, crossing the legs in front of you. And I invite you to take the cross of the leg that you don't usually cross. So if you always cross one way and it feels really easy, swap the cross and it might feel a little bit awkward. It might not feel as natural, but it just changes up the habitual patterns that we have in our postures. Taking the right hand down, lift up through the left, lovely side stretch here. Really lifting away with the fingers. Maybe open the shoulder. Remembering to breathe, connect to that breath. And exhale, soften. Lovely. And we're going to inhale, reach all the way up, lift both fingertips up. And exhale, take the left hand down, right fingertips up and away. So rather than trying to reach down, think about lifting up and away over to almost the right hand top corner. Sorry, left hand top corner. So this lovely extension through the side body. Lovely, maybe open the chest a little bit, or if you want to look down, just play with what feels good. And then coming all the way up through center. Just inhale, reach up again. Reach, reach, spread the fingers, and then exhale, bend at the elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades together as you bring it down. Come to rest the hands on the knees. We're going to take seated cat-cow today. So as we inhale, take hold of the knees and draw the chest forward. Inhale, expand the belly. And then as you exhale, round, catching your knees in your hands as you drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, so move from the center, just like we were doing our cat-cow. Move from the middle of the spine, and maybe you begin to move with your breath, moving at your own pace. Maybe you close the eyes, and then maybe taking some circles in your cat-cow. So maybe you begin to move in a circular motion through the spine as you come forwards and backwards. Again, maybe taking the eyes closed so you can really feel the movement from the center of the body. So connecting to the center of the spine, the belly, the abdominal walls, really getting into the hips. Great. And then slowly coming back round through center. We're going to take it all the way onto all fours. So coming over onto the knees, taking the knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. Really think about spreading the hands wide. And we're going to take some knee raises. So again, connecting to this center of the body, but also knowing that this runs all the way round through to the back of the body as well. So the core's not just at the front, it's across the whole back body as well. So we're going to tuck the toes and we're going to push away with the shoulders. So rather than just collapsing in our all fours here, we're pushing away, getting that lovely strength through the upper body. So it's not like a rounding cap, but it's really nice and strong here, spreading the shoulders across the back. We're going to draw the belly in, zip up through to the back of the spine, and then we're going to inhale, lift the knees and hover here off the mat, just to maybe a couple of inches for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Just sit back, give the wrists a little stretch maybe. I like to place the back of the hands down and then sit back and stretch through the top of the wrists here, the forearms. Because we spend a lot of time in this position in yoga, it's nice to flip it and change the posture of the wrists. We're going to do that 3 more times. So coming back through to all fours, tuck the toes, get that lovely lift through the upper back, draw the belly in and then lift the knees and hover here. So it's not too high, it's a really low level lift here. And if you find yourself sinking, push, 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 push. Grip into the hands, draw the belly in, really feel that connection. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Again, maybe just roll the wrists, give the shoulders a little move. So we're really firing the core up today. And our last one, back through to all fours. Tuck the toes, get that lift through the upper back and the back body, through the belly, and then lift the knees, hover. Drop the gaze down, just in between your hands so you're not crunching the neck up. There's that lovely length through the back of the neck. Use your exhale to really help you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. This time, just walk the hands out in front of you, keeping the hips over the knees. We're going to come down into Anahatanasana, so melting heart posture, forehead to the ground, hips up, draw the belly in a little bit, and just allow the shoulders and the armpits to melt, to soften, as you allow the heart to melt to the ground. Lovely. So really allowing everything to soften in the upper back. Just draw the lower belly in, just if you find you get a little bit of over arching in the lower back. It just helps protect it. So just taking a couple of breaths here. Nice release through the shoulders and the armpits. And then exhale, let it go. Push into the hands, lift up through the centre. So imagine you're drawing yourself up, keeping the neck neutral, hands back under the shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes, lift up through the hips, pushing them high to the ceiling, coming up onto the toes, spread the shoulders across the back, downward facing dog. Gentle bend in the knees as you work the heels towards the ground, but our aim is to get the length through the torso of the body rather than through the hamstrings. So spread the hands, looking back through the legs. Lovely. And then we're going to shift ourselves forward into plank. So again, keeping the neck neutral, walking ourselves forward, and then we're going to drop the hips down, coming into a cobra. Lovely. Push back, tuck the toes, lift up, downward facing dog. Again, lifting the hips. As we inhale, coming forward through to that plank, shifting ourselves into that nice level, and then dropping the hips and the knees down, coming into cobra, and then pushing back, lifting up, downward facing dog. We're going to do that once more. So moving from the center of the spine as we shift through into plank. Lovely. Then dropping the knees and the hips, coming into a cobra, and then exhale, push everything back, lift up, downward facing dog. One more breath here. Exhale, release. Take the gaze forward, walk, shift, up through to the top of the mat, forward fold, bend the knees, hang heavy, release the neck. And then inhale, lift all the way up, open the arms wide. And exhale, float it all the way back down. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, float it all the way back down. Inhale, lift all the way up. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart, just close the eyes, feel the feet connected to the ground, notice the belly just drawing in slightly as you engage through the body here. Just taking a moment before we flow to find some stillness, to connect to the breath. So as we move through our flow, as our warm up, just to get the body a little bit more fired up, think about moving from this space here. So really think about where the movement's coming from, how am I moving, kind of what's the quality and texture of my movements, or am I just moving quite mindlessly through each posture? So see if you can really think about the way you're moving, and is it coming from a place of connectedness from the center? So just always think about that as we practice. So ground down through the feet, draw the belly in, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, float forward over the legs, forward fold. Inhale, draw the belly in as you lift up halfway, and then exhale, release. Step back with the right foot, drop the knee down, lift up from the pelvis as we inhale, reach the arms. Low crescent lunge. Lovely. Exhale, release it back down. Step back to plank. Knees, chest, chin, just for our first flow. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release the toes. Push back through child's. And lift up, downward facing dog. Step forward with the right leg. Drop the left knee down. Inhale, reach up. Low crescent lunge. Engage through the center. And then exhale, release it back down. Lift the back leg and step up through to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, reaches all the way up, big stretch. And we float it all the way back down. Inhale, lifts you halfway, and exhale, we release. This time stepping back with the left foot, drop the knee down. Inhale, reach all the way up. Lovely. Take the hands down through center, take them to the hips, ground down into the foot, draw the belly in, and then we're going to push up, coming into a high lunge. Reach the arms up. Really strong here. And then exhale, frame the front foot, step back to plank. So knees, chest, chin if you want to, or you can shift forward and lower all the way through chaturanga to the belly, and then inhale, pull yourself forward up onto the tops of the feet for upward facing dog, and then shift the hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog. So moving from that center. On your next inhale, draw the knee in, move through the center as you take your left foot through, drop the right knee down. Inhale, reach up. Lovely. Exhale, bring the hands down through center to the hips. Draw the belly in as you push and lift yourself up. High lunge. Great job. Reach the fingertips up. Lovely. And then exhale, frame the front foot and step through to a forward fold. And then inhale, reach yourself all the way up. And we're going to float it all the way back down. Inhale, lifts you halfway. Exhale, release. Draw the right foot back, coming into a high lunge. So lift up through the center, straighten that front leg as you reach the fingertips, and then exhale, bend into that front leg as you sink down into your lunge. Lovely. So we're going to move from the center as we twist open, just taking a lovely twist here. Open the arms wide, and then inhale, reach through and up. Exhale, float it down, step back to plank. So again, knees, chest, chin, or this time you can shift forward, lower halfway down. Pull your chest forward as you lift up onto the tops of the feet, keeping the hips lifted off the ground. And then exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Exhale, release and soften. Look forward, draw the right knee in, up and through, stepping into a high lunge. Inhale, reach up, straighten the front leg as you reach the arms, and then bend down as you sink into that lunge. Lovely. Reach the fingertips away as you inhale, and exhale, move from the center as you twist open. Lovely. Really strong, guys. And then Lift up and exhale. We're going to move through a final flow, step back to plank. So again, with our chaturanga, we're getting really nice rocking forwards and backwards, drawing the belly in, pushing over the shoulders. We shift forward, lower through the elbows halfway, and then pull your chest forward, rolling over the tops of the feet. Great job. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears, and then draw the belly in as you lift your hips high. Really strong. And then drop the knees, take them wide, big toes to touch. Lovely rest in child's pose here. Probably a welcome rest. And then if you want to, you can flip the palms to face upwards. You can draw the palms together over the head to create a little shark fin. But use this opportunity to just relax into the breath, to feel the back of the body expand, to just notice the quality and texture of your breath and where you are right now. Feel the rib cage expanding across the back of the body. And then on your next inhale, again moving from the center, draw the belly in as you lift up through the body, coming into an all fours. And then we're going to lift the knees, come up, downward facing dog. So draw the belly in, we're just going to shift ourselves through into a plank. So again, really connecting, pushing out through the heels. And we're just going to kind of rock side to side, so not too much, but just kind of getting a little bit of rocking there. Draw the belly in up towards the spine, and then we're going to come over onto the right foot, lifting the left fingertips up, coming into a side plank. So you can either stack the left foot on top of the right or just keep them in this kind of train track position. Lovely. Lift up through the side of the body, engage the belly, hold here. And then exhale, come back through to plank, just rock side to side. Again, moving from that center rather than this just rigid movement. And then again, shifting over to the left, rolling onto the sides of the feet, lifting the right fingertips up. Maybe stacking the feet if that feels good. If not, keep the feet in that train track position. Draw the sides of the body up. And then exhale, bring it down. We're going to move through a flow, so you can do knees, chest, chin, or lower halfway or all the way to the belly. Inhale through to a cobra or an up dog. And then lift the hips, downward facing dog. Just one breath here, coming onto the toes, that gentle bend in the knees as we lengthen through the spine and the torso, releasing the neck. And maybe just exhale out through the mouth. Take the gaze forward, walk, step, hop, jump, come through to that Uttanasana, that forward fold. Maybe hang and hold the elbows as you just rock side to side here, kind of ragdolling. Just feeling that lovely kind of rocking motion. And then slowly we're going to roll up through the spine, just gently bend the knees as you push into the feet. Chin chucked into the chest, coming all the way up, reaching the arms overhead. And then exhale, bring the hands down through the center. And then just kind of notice the feet. We're going to do a little bit of active mobility here, so really connect into the center. We're going to have a little play with tree and eagle posture today, so a little bit of fun. So grounding down into the left foot, lift the right leg up. So you can flex or point the foot, but really think about connecting across the back body, so feeling those back muscles engage as you lift the knee, and maybe you start to stretch it out to the side, maybe you stretch it behind you, just playing with the balance, but knowing that you are strong through the foot and you're lifting up and out, using the core to help lift you through. Maybe you take it through to the front, So playing with where you are in your balance, maybe you take it over, maybe you just take it behind you. So play with that movement. And I would advise just keeping a little bend in that standing leg to kind of give you some room to play rather than locking out so you're rigid. There's this movement. And then slowly coming back through to center, draw the knee in. And then you're going to give yourself a little squeeze, passive stretch here, and then take the knee out to the side. Hold it there, and then maybe you drop it to the inner thigh, the calf, or the ankle, whatever feels good for you. And then imagine you're pushing the thigh and the foot together. So there's this magnetic drawing of energy, and then we lift up through the hips as we draw the knee out, and maybe we take the arms up and out and find something to focus on. Really ground into the standing foot, try not to lock the knee. Squeeze the glutes, draw the belly in. See if you can just notice if your rib cage is kind of splaying out. See if you can just draw it in a little bit. Lovely. One more inhale and exhale. Really grounded here. And then draw the hands down through to the center. We're going to lift that foot off and hook it as if we're crossing our leg over our left knee. So maybe as if we're coming to sit down, and just gently bend into the standing leg. So coming into our eagle posture. And then we're going to cross the left arm over the right. And if you can take prayer with the hands, that's great. If not, just take hold of the wrist. And we're going to then draw the elbows up and then draw the arms away. So we're getting a nice stretch through the tops of the shoulders. So really strong in our standing leg here. Again, thinking about taking flight. Sometimes I actually like to take my arms out wide behind me, and I feel a little bit more open, as if I am an eagle about to fly off. One more inhale, stay for your exhale, and then slowly release the arms, uncross the legs, draw that knee back in, really strong here, and then shift it back behind you, stepping back into a low lunge, reach the arms up. Really strong, great. And then exhale, we're going to flow through our vinyasa, so shifting forward, maybe lower halfway or all the way to the belly, coming to a cobra or an up dog. Remember, dropping the shoulders down, draw the chest through and forward, and then exhale, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Spreading the shoulders across the back, belly in, and then exhale, gaze forward, step, hop, jump, walk. Forward fold, exhale, release. And inhale, roll yourself up through the spine, bend the knees, push into the feet, and give the shoulders a lovely big kind of roll backwards. And we'll take it to the other side. So grounding into the right foot, lift up through the left knee, and begin to play with that balance. As maybe you take it out to the side or behind you. Just playing with that mobility. Maybe you take it out in front. Just noticing your balance. Are you using the core? Are you moving through the whole body? Lovely. Just a nice way to have a bit of fun. Notice how the feet work with the knee and the knee works with the hip as it's keeping you balanced and upright. And then slowly drawing that knee back in, giving it a lovely big passive squeeze in. So drawing the knee in and then take it out to the side. So again, we're opening the hip here. So if you can hold that knee up, and then take the foot either to the thigh, the calf, or the ankle. So again, it might feel different on the opposite side, but try to take each side as its own kind of entity and just notice maybe what is different or what's the same. Again, draw up through the hips, so try not to just sit here. Lift up and out and then draw the arms away. Really strong and rooted here. So just like the storms that we've been having, the trees are really grounded, but there's movement at the top maybe. Lovely. Draw the knee out in the way, squeeze the glutes, push the foot and the thigh together. Really have an active engagement through the body. And then exhale, bring the hands down through center. Hook that left knee over the right, coming into our eagle. Maybe you can touch the back of the calf with the toes. And as you cross the left arm under the right, taking hold of the opposite palms as you lift the elbows up and draw the arms away, getting that lovely stretch through the top of the shoulders. Eagle posture, lovely. Really ground down into that standing foot. You might feel a little bit of a burn. As long as nothing's painful, we're good to go. Maybe you want to open the arms out wide, open the chest. It's a lovely kind of opening feeling here. Just see if you can tuck the pelvis under a little bit if you're crunching through the back of the spine. And then slowly, we're going to lift that knee up, unhook the arms and step back to that lunge position. Great job. Reach the arms up. And exhale, we're going to flow all the way down to the belly. So this time, just come into the plank and lower your knees, your hips, and just come all the way down. Just take a little moment here. Pillow for your hands, for your forehead, big toes to touch, and allow the heels to roll out to the side. So crocodile variation. If you need to take a sip of water, please do. We're just going to take 3 breaths here, 3 full breaths, just to start bringing the body back down. We're going to move through a locust practice, just to really again connect to that center of our body. So just taking a few moments here to just soften and ground. Relax the belly, relax the breath. Lovely. So just taking the forehead to the ground, just shift yourself into the middle of your mat and take the hands down by the side of the body. You can put the palms facing down, but I sometimes find that's a bit constricting in my shoulders. I just have the back of the hands on the mat and the palms facing up. It just feels a bit more open for me. And then I push the tops of my feet down into the mat. So I'm really connected through the whole front body here. And we're just going to start with the top of the body. So as you inhale, push down into your pubic bone, squeeze the glutes, push into the tops of the feet. As you inhale, lift up, using the back muscles, engage the shoulders as you draw them together and down the back. Maybe spread the fingers, keep the chin neutral, the back of the neck. You don't need to crunch up. Maybe just take the gaze a little bit forward. If there's any pain in the back, please just slowly release out of the posture. But think about using these muscles here and the glutes to lift you up. And then exhale, release it down. Just take a little rest. And we're going to use the lower body now. So forehead on the ground. This time, try and push into the tops of the hands. Again, push into the pubic bone. Try and keep the shoulders on the ground as you inhale. Squeeze the glutes. Lift the legs off, using the quads and the hamstrings. Engage the belly. Point the toes as you lift the lower half off the mat. So you're still using your back muscles, but it's the lower half of the body this time. So engage the belly to the spine. Think about using the hip flexors in that little balancing mobility work we did. And then exhale, lower it all down. Just take a little moment here. Give the hips a little shake. Rock side to side. And then we're going to put it all together. So pushing down into the pubic bone, engage the belly towards the spine. As you inhale, squeeze the glutes, use the back muscles as you lift the lower body and the upper body off. So arms spreading wide, so fingers spreading wide behind you, drawing the shoulders down, away. So down the back together, squeezing them, lifting the feet away, reaching up, smiling. Engage these muscles that run down the side of the spine. Squeeze the glutes. One more inhale and exhale. Release it all down. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Push back through all fours and take a little rest in child's pose. Lovely. If you want, you can take the hands down to the sides of the feet to create more of a kind of tortoise posture, or you can keep the arms extended, whatever feels good for you. And think about, again, expanding across the back of the body with your inhale, opening, and as you exhale, that contraction of the breath, of the rib cage, of the diaphragm, as everything sinks back down into the center. Just a few breaths, softening, releasing. And then slowly extend the arms if they aren't already, coming up through all fours, coming into the middle of the mat and shifting yourself through to our boat posture. So we're going to take some high boat and low boats just to really see where we are in our core. From the beginning now to the end of our practice, we might be feeling a little bit more tired, but we'll go for it. So drawing the hands underneath the knees, lift the chest, draw the belly in, use those back muscles we've been engaging as well, and the hip flexors as you start to shift yourself back a little bit and you lift the feet off the mat. Lovely. Maybe you let go of the knees here, holding, and then we're slowly just going to lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just hover in this low boat, pointing the toes. Use the muscle, draw the belly to the back of the body as you lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. We're just going to do one more of those. So we're going to lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. I know I'm shaking. For 5, lift up. 4, 3, 2, 1. And just take the knees and give yourself a little squeeze. Draw yourself into a little ball. Excuse me. And then we're just going to take a lovely forward fold. So taking the legs out long, draw the toes towards you, little bend in the knees as we lift up. Lovely, reaching, 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 and then imagine you're lifting up and over with that ball as we come into our forward fold. So again, it's not always about strengthening or lengthening the back of the legs, it's about lengthening the back of the body. So sometimes we can overstretch the hamstrings, so just keeping a little bend in the knees allows us to focus on the spine, stretching and lengthening. In yoga we can kind of overwork the hamstrings a little bit, and maybe that's why they always feel tight, so I'll stretch them again, but actually it's working on stretching other parts of the body. So again, it's working the forehead towards the toes rather than the knees, the nose to the knees. So your hands might be on the shins, on the floor. Maybe you can hook your peace fingers around your big toes and lift your chest and draw yourself forward. And in time, we're working towards closing the gap. But as long as you're feeling the stretch, that's more important rather than how it looks. It's about how is it feeling in the body. Lovely. Just softening again here. And then slowly rising all the way up. We're just going to take the hands behind us. We're going to take a reverse plank. So wrists, hands under the shoulders. Draw the belly in, point the toes as we draw the chest up, shoulders together, and we lift the hips with our legs straight this time, seeing if we can take the toes to the ground and just lift the chin slightly. So again, just a little bit of engaging through the center, holding here, and then exhale, release it down. Lovely. Take the knees in, feet together, knees wide. So we're going to take a butterfly variation. So we're not going to have the feet as close as we can. We're just going to take them a little bit further away from the middle of the body, and then we're just going to allow the feet to open wide. And then we're going to take the hands behind us, and we're just going to sit back in our heels. Just a very passive stretch here, allowing everything to kind of just open. So we're not trying to hold the knees, just a little engagement through the belly, but rather than trying to fold forward and everything kind of closes in, we're opening up and out. So lifting the chest, drawing the shoulders together, just Maybe there's a little micro bend in the elbows as you allow yourself to just hang out here. The feet open wide. Everything's just a little bit more relaxed. Lovely. One more breath here. And exhale. Slowly come back. Draw the right heel in towards the center and then the left heel just in front of it. And then just kind of snuggle yourself forward. We're just going to take a little lifting up of the hips. So hold on, I'm going to change it. Take your right foot behind you, so it's in line with your glute, and then your left foot's in front of you, so you're in this kind of stag position, so your feet and your knees are at kind of right angles. Hands on the hips. We're going to use the center to lift ourselves up, and then we're going to sit back down. We're going to shift the knees over and lift up to the other side. So we should be in this kind of stagger position as we lift up onto the shins using our hip flexors. We might feel that opening here, and then we're going to sit back down. So we're trying to not use momentum, and then we're going to lift our knees up, take it over to the other side. So now our left foot should be behind us and our right leg should be in front, and then again we're going to lift up onto the shins, opening the hips, and then we're going to sit back down. Again, lift the knees up and take it over to the other side. So again, a little bit of hip mobility, lifting up. Just notice where we are, and then we're going to lower back down. One more, take the knees over, lift up, squeeze the glutes, and then lower back down. Lovely. Just kind of wash the knees side to side. Sorry about that, I got a little bit confused with my spatial awareness there. I was like, that doesn't feel right. It's not uncommon for yoga teachers to get their lefts and right mixed up. Hence the reason why we say, take the other side. Perfect. And then slowly coming back into the middle of the mat, we're going to lower ourselves down onto our backs, and we're just going to take some really nice variations of some supine twists to really open out through the middle of the body. So just lowering yourself all the way down, take the knees in, and then drop the left foot down, take the right foot and hook the heel on top of the left thigh, top of the knee thigh bit there. And then we're going to draw the left knee in as we thread our right hand through that little triangle, hook the back of the leg and start to draw the knee in, coming into pigeon on back. So our right knee's bent, our elbows gently pushing into that crease as we're opening through the back of the hip flexor. So you should feel that stretch through the back of the right glute and femur, the hip. And maybe play with straightening the left leg, or taking hold of the shin and bringing it down. So just playing here, just a slightly different stretch. See if you can relax the shoulders, relax the face, relax the chin. And then we're going to drop the left foot down and hook the right foot over. And then we're going to shift. We're going to shift our hips over to the right. And then we're going to drop our our knees down over to the left side. So it's a little bit of a change in the cross. If you find your left shoulder feels funny, so your right shoulder feels funny, just place the hand on the rib cage. Bringing the knees back up, swapping over the legs, so the right foot is down now. Draw the left knee in and take the ankle on top of the right knee, kind of slash top of the thigh, and then draw the right knee in, threading the hand through and taking the back of the right leg as you draw that knee into the chest, coming into pigeon on back. Apologies about that little mini battery failure. That would have been quite awful at the end of the class to just suddenly disappear. The joys of technology. So just feeling that stretch through the right glute and kind of hip femur here. Maybe flexing the feet, maybe you draw the right foot up to the ceiling to notice if the stretch feels different, or again you take hold of the shin as you draw the knee in. Lovely. This is a nice variation of pigeon. It can be less heavy duty on the hips as well. It can be a bit more nicer and gentler on the back while still getting the stretch. And then slowly bring the right foot down, hook the left leg over, and then shift the hips over to the left side as you drop the knees down to the right. So your now knees are to the right, and maybe you place the left hand on the left rib cage and the right hand on top of the left knee as you just allow yourself to soften into this stretch here. Just releasing. Feeling the rib cage expanding through the left side of the body. Noticing that lovely twist through the center, that gentle compression of the twist as you breathe in and out. Lovely, and then slowly just releasing the twist, draw the knees back in. Just take one final stretch here before we move into our Shavasana. Maybe you want to take a full body stretch, arms overhead, feet out long, really extending through the armpits, pointing the toes, and then eventually we'll come into a nice, comfortable, easy Shavasana. So again, I invite you to get any pillows or blankets. You can put something under your knees if that feels good. You can rest something under your back, but just take a moment to really get comfortable here. We're usually here for about 5 minutes. So just, make yourself nice and cozy, especially when we've been moving and we stop, we can get that slight chill through the body. So just make sure you're nice and comfortable. And then wherever you are, maybe just take the hands off the mat and the palms face upwards, or maybe you just want to rest the hands on the belly again to connect to that central part of your body. Your ankles are nice and loose, your knees are easy and heavy, your hips are open, shoulders are snuggled underneath you, the neck is relaxed, the jaws relaxed. Just scan the body. Take this moment before you come to this stillness to just check the body. Are you holding on to any tension or tightness? Can you just let that go? And drop into the belly. Coming back to that belly breath, that deep, deep breath. Feeling the expansion through the lower abdominals, all the way up through to the chest, and then exhale, everything releases and contracts. Maybe you begin to soften through the eyes, closing the eyelids if they are not. And feel the breath in the body, moving from the center out towards the limbs and back in again, as if it's a coil opening and shutting. Almost like a jellyfish, as it moves, it kind of expands and ripples in and out of itself. Easy breath in here and easy breath out. Just notice the body here in this stillness, in this peace, this quiet. Being very connected and grounded. Observe yourself observing the breath, so you become the witness, observing the breath in and out of the body. Finishing that last exhale, begin to draw your awareness back into the body, away from the breath, feeling the space around you, your body on the mat, anything that might be covering you. Just feel that against the skin as you find some movement through the fingers and toes, up through into the knees and the hips, into the elbows and shoulders, just waking the body back up, taking your time, no rush. Maybe you take a stretch or you hug the knees in. Again, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And as you make your way up to seated, move from that center again. So notice how the movements come from the middle of the body as you gently rise yourself up to a seated position. Keeping the eyes soft, maybe to the ground still. Just come to rest the hands on the knees. Take a beat here, just to pause. Maybe again, just rest that hand gently on the belly, just coming back to this center, this core, this whole system here that drives all of our other movements and our patterns and sometimes the way we feel and think and behave. Just this kind of instinctual place of the body. Just connect to it. And maybe throughout the rest of the day, or maybe an intention you can give yourself is spending a little more time noticing what's going on here. So rather than always being in the thinking mind, can we be in the feeling body and maybe listen to what it's trying to tell us. Take a big inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down through center. Just take a moment here to bow down to yourself. Thank you very much for practicing. Jai, thank you very much.